Most of the Pacific population is dispersed through hundreds of small islands that are scattered over 550,000 square kilometers, almost 1/3 of the globe's surface. This dispersion hinders Pacific linkages with global economic and trade centers. Adoption of e-commerce can narrow distances and trade costs and promote diversification of Pacific economies. This is why the Pacific Islands Forum Secretariat, or PIFS, and the Melanesian Spearhead Group, MSG Secretariat, with funding from the EU ACP TradeCom 2 program, developed regional e-commerce assessments. The reports draw upon findings of 10 national e-commerce assessments developed through a partnership between the PIFS, the MSG Secretariat, the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, or UNCTAD, the EU, the TradeCom 2 program, the Enhanced Integrated Framework, and the Australian Aid Program, as well as from other high-quality evidence. Drawing upon the methodology developed by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, the regional e-commerce assessment focused on identifying challenges and opportunities in 7 key areas of critical importance for cross-border and domestic e-commerce development. These are e-commerce policies and strategies, legal and regulatory frameworks, ICT infrastructure and e-commerce support services ecosystem, trade facilitation and logistics ecosystem, payment solution for e-commerce, access to financing initiatives in e-commerce, and e-commerce skills development. Pacific Island countries face similar economic challenges such as small population, small domestic market size, distance from key trade partners, limited export opportunities, and limited connectivity.
The Pacific E-commerce Initiative has come at a critical time in the context of COVID-19, when e-commerce business has been thriving, and as we move towards new normal, there would be enormous opportunities and potential for small businesses to tap into this opportunity. We at EIF are very pleased to cooperate and collaborate with the PIF Secretariat in this excellent initiative.
The Pacific Islands Forum is the region's premier political and economic policy organization. It comprises 18 members, of which 14 are also members of the Organization of African, Caribbean and Pacific States. Founded in 1971, the Pacific Islands Forum vision is for a region of peace, harmony, security, social inclusion and prosperity, so that all Pacific people can lead free, healthy and productive lives.
In a global industry that is worth $26 trillion, the Pacific has a very limited footprint in e-commerce, and particularly when it comes to exports, trade in general, also in relation to investments.
Australia welcomes and supports the PIF's Regional E-commerce Initiative as one of 5 priorities of the Pacific Aid for Trade strategy. Building on the numerous e-trade readiness assessments completed for Pacific countries, this initiative will strengthen the region's e-commerce capabilities.
The Melanesian Spearhead Group Secretariat, MSG Secretariat, is a regional organization whose membership comprises the 4 largest Pacific ACP states, Fiji, Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands and Vanuatu, as well as the Kanak and Socialist National Liberation Front of New Caledonia. It was established to promote trade, economic and technical cooperation between member states and the alignment of policies in order to further economic growth and sustainable development.
The MSG group of countries have a responsibility with respect to trade, a responsibility to be part of the region and to lead the specific subject of e-commerce. So within this particular this observation that I see the importance that e-commerce present. It's a platform whereby the MSG economies contribute to a regional approach to e-commerce and to exploit its benefits for the economies of the region.
The EU ACP and their TradeCom 2 program have long supported PIFs and the MSG in the promotion of policy areas which are conducive in digital trade readiness.
Funding, of course, the EU is supporting relevant programs here in the Pacific region at local and regional and global levels, be that to prepare our partner countries for trade negotiations or prepare them to set up domestic policies, regional policies, or improve the skills of the private sector to take advantage of digital solutions and develop such solutions themselves.
Globally, e-commerce has been rapidly gaining importance as one of the major sources of development. The Pacific E-commerce Initiative, coordinated by the Pacific Islands Forum Secretariat, offers the opportunity to capture the immense potential to help overcome the region's geographical remoteness through digital trade.
Indeed, the true potential of digital transformation and the digital economy, particularly in our region, can only be realized if we make concerted efforts to ensure its prioritization through the allocation of adequate resourcing and capacity support to capitalize on digital transformation. As a region, we must build on the opportunity that the COVID-19 pandemic has presented and prioritize and expedite the advancement of digital economies within our region.
The EU ACP TradeCom 2 program is proud to be a partner of the Pacific E-commerce Initiative.